and we're going to start. I'm going to start fairly promptly today because we've got a lot to cover with you. And hello, Pretoria. Feels like the Eurovision Song Contest, and you're sort of ringing out all these different places across the world. We are so global, and so are our candidate base and our client base. Everybody we work with is from across the globe. We just love that. Okay, so feel free to put into chat where you're from at any stage. Everyone should have access to chat and to the questions, the Q&As. Without further ado, I'm going to tell you a little bit more. So let's tell you about me first. My name's Abigail Stephens. For those who don't know me, I am the founder and managing director of Global Recruitment. And I have around 30 years international accounting and finance recruitment experience. I myself have visited 52 countries and lived and worked across the globe. I've lived and worked particularly in England, Scotland, Australia, and New Zealand. So some of my specialist subjects, but obviously I have visited companies, clients, and people who've moved to all these other locations, passionate about assisting accountants to move across the globe. That is what made me start Think Global Recruitment, because I had the opportunity to live and work overseas, and I knew what amazing opportunity it was and wanted to give others that opportunity, the chance to do that as well. Today we're going to get all of this in 1 hour. I don't know how, but we'll see what we can. We've practiced it. We believe we might be able to do it, including your Q&As, but we will also have one-to-ones for you. We will have more focused sessions on different regions of the world, and we will have sessions on all techniques and everything to do with how to move across the globe, to make sure that we're helping you make this move as successful as possible in the future and that you're properly prepared for it. This is part of our vision, which is improving lives. We do these free webinars to help accountants that are thinking about an international move get it right. There's so much to think about when you're doing it. There's so many benefits from doing it, whether it's about challenging, more interesting work, and improved lifestyle, meeting people from across the globe, new cultural experiences, better weather, back on the weather again, or maybe it's just the opportunity to travel to different places and see different places. There's many, many reasons you want to go overseas, and most opportunities will give you that. It's worth thinking about what it is that's important to you in when you're making a decision about where to go, and we can help you with that. How do we help people? Well, we've actually got 25 years experience. We're 25 this year. Very excited about our silver birthday anniversary. We've got 25 years of experience that we've built up of helping accountancy people move across the globe, literally from any location to any location. From that experience and the network of contacts we made up, we're hoping that we might be able to help you as well. We've actually assisted over 2,000 professionals, and that's across 43 different nationalities, to move to 63 different countries across the globe. And I think last count was over 148 different companies. So it's a lot of diversity in there, which we love. I'm going to talk about the basics first off today before I hand over to my colleagues. I've got Maxine with me and Tyrone with me that are going to do a bit of a country swoop. Hi, guys. The basics, so salary packages and what to expect. It's one of the most popular questions we're going to be asked, of course. The first thing I'd say is if a company is used to hiring internationally, they will pay you a fair salary that you can live off in that local area, because otherwise you'll leave. Simple. It takes them a lot of time, money, energy, and resources to bring you onto the team and welcome you. They do not want you to then say you can't live off your salary and leave. So they will always give you a fair one. The biggest thing, so, to think about when you're looking at salaries is, well, what is going to be the cost of my accommodation and what tax am I going to pay? They're the two biggest things that come off any salary. Bear in mind that what you see on the internet is usually what's left. The other things on the market, like cheaper properties, can be snapped up quickly. And usually a firm will have a good inroad with somebody that can help you find those cheaper properties that don't even get stuck on the internet. But there is data available. You should do your research, and you should talk to us, because we can provide information on that. One of my favorite things is meeting the people 6 months after they've started that we've assisted to move, and finding out how they're settling in. And one of my questions is usually, and what did you pay for your accommodation? What type of accommodation you've got? So we have a world of bank of knowledge. What are firms looking for in international talent? We have a whole webinar on this topic, which we just did recently, and you can find it on YouTube. But really what they're looking for is people who are qualified accountants usually, mainly for visa purposes. There are some exceptions, like if you don't need a visa, then it might be possible to move without a professional qual. And they're also looking for people with 3 years upwards experience. They are looking for people, though, who have shown consistency in their jobs over the years. Because if you're going to move somebody internationally and put that process in place, you want to know that they're not going to be somebody that's just going to turn up for a year and then leave. It's really important to them for that. So if you're thinking about leaving current roles, just consider that at the moment. If you've got very good reasons for leaving, we can talk to you about that. But what you might construe as a good reason for leaving is not necessarily what a new employer would. So put yourself in their shoes. Okay. And how does the visa process work? On a higher level, most companies will help sponsor you for a visa. There are exceptions. We might talk about some of them in the presentation today. And they do it financially and they'll help you on the paperwork. If nothing, they'll definitely help you with the paperwork. And that's getting together your process and your application to get the visa. Usually, typically, a visa can take anything from 4 to 12 weeks to obtain to make an international move to a new location. The good news is, if you are sitting here today, as I think most of you are, a qualified chartered accountant, CPA, ACCA, you have that ticket to move across the globe. You took the really good profession, because not many professions can make that international move. So well done you, all that work, because it's not easy. Getting to that level can and will pay off. Okay, here's a little bit about timelines, another very popular question. So if you were typically going to work with us, we would meet with you on day one. We'd find out about what you're looking for. We want to know what's your ideal role. We want to know about your experience. And we want to know how we can position you and make you shine out when we're doing our tailored job applications to companies. Once we've done that and we feel that we can help you, we can only work with 10, each consultant only has time to work with 10 active candidates at any one time. So we want to make sure we've got you at the right timing, the right process, and you've got the right reasons for making the move, etc. Once we've worked all that out and we think, yep, we can definitely help you. We're not going to give you false hopes if we can't. We will go down this route of finding you some interviews. And the interviews can take anything from 1 day to 2 weeks to come through. Some companies are a bit slow at coming off the mark. And then once those interviews start happening, they usually move quite fast. The whole process will take up to, say, 2 weeks, usually with 1 to 2 videos online this day and age. Occasionally, some companies like to do a bit of testing or a 4th interview. It does vary, as you'd imagine. And then we've got that visa process that I said, 4 to 12 weeks. So if you registered with us this week, you could be looking at making a move in the next 2 to 3, 4 months time from now, internationally, overseas. One of the key things to bear in mind is when an employer gets to make an offer to you, they usually want to know your answer within 24 to 48 hours. Yeah, an employer makes an offer to you, they want to know your answer within 24 to 48 hours. And that's where we come in, because we will make sure that during this interview process, we're answering all your questions that you have. And we're going to be asking you to be open and honest and tell us if you have any questions or concerns, so we can cover them off before you get to that pressure point where you've got to make a decision. So really, it's easy. You're not making it within 24 to 48 hours. You're making it through all those weeks leading up to that part. Okay, all right. Well, that's a bit about logistics. Feel free to ask questions in the Q&A section for later on. We can go into more logistics, although we'll pick some up en route as well as we fly across the world on our worldwide opportunities. First up, I am going to hand you over to our very wonderful Maxine.
Thanks, Abigail. Hi, everyone. I'm Maxine. I'm a senior consultant here at Think Global Recruitment. I work remotely from Cape Town, and I have over a decade of recruitment experience, particularly in the finance and accountancy space. I've had the awesome pleasure of assisting awesome professionals make amazing career moves across the globe. And you're welcome to find me on LinkedIn. I would be happy and delighted to form part of your network. However, I would like to jump right in because I have a lot to cover right now. So if you want to know more about me, find me on LinkedIn, please. So today I want to start off with the UK. Now, the UK is a magnet for finance and accountancy professionals. And this is also despite the recent economic wobbles and recession whispers. Regional cities like Manchester, Birmingham, and Leeds are stealing the spotlight, with sectors like energy, tech, and consumer goods that are buzzing with net zero initiatives driving jobs and revenue. However, visa sponsorship for international talent has seen a notable decline, and we've seen an increase in firms requesting at least 18 months UK jurisdictional experience in order to be considered for opportunities. So we can still take a closer look to the cities in England. We're going to take a real close look, actually, starting off with London, which I believe hardly needs any introduction. This is where hustle meets history, and every accent under the sun shares the same tube line. London is still Europe's financial powerhouse, particularly when it comes to capital markets, investment banking, and foreign exchange. It's because of the infrastructure, talent pool, and global connectivity that other cities just haven't matched yet. In London, you'll often find more specialized portfolios, like, for example, as an auditor, specializing purely in insurance or asset management or energy and natural resources, but it will also, of course, depend on the size firm. Beyond work, London offers a culture that's super diverse, and you can see it shine through with the dining and, of course, the music. The cost of living is quite high. £4 coffees are no myth. And salary-wise, you can expect a salary from 52,000 for an audit senior and 60,000 and up for manager level. Rent also, it can be brutal, coming in at £1,400 for one bedroom. So flat share is definitely going to become your best friend. Beyond London, Reading, Gatwick, and Guildford are superb options too, offering a short commute to London, but more of like a suburban type lifestyle. Other great options are Birmingham, Manchester, Leeds, Bristol, and Newcastle. Equally great. Life across these cities share common threads. They are super cosmopolitan, world-class dining, lively entertainment, everything that you can expect in London, just at a fraction of the price. Now let's zip through north to Scotland, the land of kilts, castles, and cracking finance careers. And also the land of our directors. Scots are famously friendly, and as a Cambridge study actually shows them to be the UK's most welcoming, and this is perfect for expats building client rapport. Here's a cool expat fact for you, actually, that 83% of expats in Scotland rate their quality of life super high, or actually rated it as excellent, thanks to top education, healthcare, and vibrant festivals like the Edinburgh Fringe. Speaking of Edinburgh, this is a finance gem, blending Hogwarts charm with Big Four and top 10 firms. External audit, internal audit, risk, cyber, and corporate finance roles thrive here, especially in asset management insurance. However, if you've got more varied portfolio, you'll fit right in. Rent comes in at around £800 per month, way lower than London, with salaries from £45,000 to £50,000 for an audit senior. Other great Scottish cities to consider is definitely Glasgow with its gritty, artsy vibe, and Aberdeen, the UK's energy hub, specializing more in oil and gas and renewables, with auditors managing really complex and cool energy-focused type portfolios. Right. I hope you're all still with me. I am known to talk like 110 pages per hour, but here we go. Let's cross the Irish Sea to the Emerald Isle, where you'll find rolling hills, cozy pubs, and Guinness pints pair well with hearty stew and St. Paddy's Day. That was a real tongue tie. This is Ireland's finance hotspot, where you can find great education, healthcare, and a buzzing art scene. Ireland is also ranked one of the most friendliest countries, with about 96% of expats feeling welcome. Plus, it's now also the strongest passport. Belfast, the largest city in Northern Ireland, still part of the UK, is a city on the rise, with a growing reputation as a destination for, again, arts and culture. The Republic of Ireland is equally buzzing. It's the EU's new financial darling, hosting tech and FS giants like Google and Meta and JP Morgan. Dublin, the financial services capital, where Big Four And top 10 firms need external and internal auditors, cyber experts, and corporate finance stars. And if you think portfolio-wise, you can think banks, funds, and fintech. Seniors can earn a salary starting from €50,000, but range is still steep in Dublin, coming in at €1,200 to €500 per month. Cork and Limerick and even Waterford are great options too if you're looking at the Republic of Ireland. Firms here tend to have more of a diverse client portfolio, and the cost of living is way cheaper compared to Dublin. Still, you'll get excellent exposure and an excellent quality of life. Hopping over to offshore UK, starting off with the beautiful Isle of Man. Situated between England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, the Isle of Man is known for its high quality of life and super low crime rates. The Isle of Man offers excellent education and healthcare system, as well as a range of great outdoor type activities and cultural events. The cost of living comes in at 44% more affordable compared to London and 30% more or less than the UK Channel Islands. Now we're going to cross the sea and continent over to the UK Channel Islands, probably one of my favorite two locations where I've helped professionals make a move. So think island lifestyle with tax perks. Yes, please. Your financial services skills here, pure gold. Nestled between UK and France, providing a unique blend between British and French influences. These islands offer a delightful multicultural vibe and a lifestyle that makes you question why you ever dealt with mainland commutes in the first place. The two main islands we're going to focus on are going to be Jersey and Guernsey, each with their own unique charm and distinct character. Jersey is the largest of them, and it's more cosmopolitan, offering a vibrant atmosphere, while Guernsey, on the other hand, is more serene with like an intimate setting, i.e. even more tranquility. One of the significant advantages of the UK Channel Islands is their accessibility both to Europe and the UK, and the capital cities offer everything that you would find in a cosmopolitan city, from restaurants to pubs to great sports facilities. There's literally so much to do locally, with work and home just being like a short drive if you want a car, but even a walk or cycle away. A part of the glorious lifestyle that awaits, I've quickly assembled a couple of nice quick facts that will really entice you to want to make a move here. So you'll work with an impressive portfolio of international and local clients. So that's going to be within banking, insurance, asset management, and even real estate. The time spent in the UK Channel Islands counts towards your UK permanent residency, and smaller, more inclusive offices means that you get noticed for the job that you do. You really do drive your own development. You're not just a mere bum on the seat. The tax is much lower than mainland UK. It's capped at 20%. And in fact, the first £19,000 is tax-free. You get even more kickbacks if you are married. Salaries are starting at £47,000 for a senior and £55,000 and up for manager. Now, one bedroom apartment can cost you anything from £1,200 per month. Again, flat share is a super great option. Over to the Middle East. We're going to talk about Abu Dhabi and Dubai. When we talk about Abu Dhabi and Dubai, you think super modern and glitz and glamour, and as you should. There's lots of high-rise buildings, marinas, beaches, so it offers you a super sophisticated type lifestyle. Most industries are covered in the UAE. Oil and gas is no longer dominant here. As you would imagine, construction, real estate, tourism, and financial services they're huge. The rest of the GCC is catching up too. Qatar, Bahrain, Oman, and Saudi are becoming more liberal and equally ambitious. All countries still offer tax-free salaries, although note that they're not as high as they used to be. As the UAE, they don't have to entice people to come in. Everybody literally wants to go there these days. If we now cross the continent again, going over to Europe. Now, moving to Europe comes with several advantages and even more adventure. Europe offers diverse career opportunities for finance and accountancy professionals, typically in external audit, internal audit, risk, cyber, and corporate finance. but often language skills would be a requirement. Yes, you do find the odd English only opportunity that is for more international portfolios, and it's also country specific. We're going to stop at Luxembourg first, a tiny country right in the middle, in the heart of Europe, with strong financial muscle. If you have strong financial services client exposure, mainly asset management or investment management, Luxembourg is definitely a great option for you. And for these portfolios, English only would suffice. An audit senior can expect a salary from 55,000 euro. And another cool thing about Luxembourg is you can either stay in Luxembourg or a lot of people cross the border from either France or Germany with only being like 15 minutes away. Naturally, half the country speaks French and half the country speaks German. Then I'm moving over to Belgium and Netherlands. Now we've got different slides for them, but I thought it would be nice to group them together as there's a lot of similarities between the two. Both offer laid-back, bike-friendly cities with a vibrant nightlife, canals, and plenty of cultural festivals. Excellent work-life balance and a progressive workplace is on your table here, with Amsterdam and Rotterdam in the Netherlands and Brussels in Belgium. They're super international, so they're super well connected as well, and English friendly. Also, fellow South Africans, if you speak Afrikaans, that is really nice for them to see on your CV, and you, of course, will be considered for opportunities. Audit senior salaries can start from around 45,000 euro, with rent averaging from 1,000 euro, even lower if like just outside of the major city hubs. Moving over to Germany and Switzerland, again, I grouped them together. So these countries offer superb outdoor adventures, a precision-driven work culture, and also a super multicultural expat community. Currently, EU passport holders with language skills are preferred, and Switzerland, as you can imagine, offers some of the highest salaries that we've seen, but it's also because of the cost of living. But this also offers you an exceptional quality of life. Oh, and let me not forget the chocolate. It's life-changing, as we all know. Moving over to France. So think art, fashion, Mediterranean beaches down in south. So France offers anything and everything great about a country, but just with that French flair. French language skills typically would also be a requirement. And you can expect, when you think of Paris, or when it comes to Paris, it's the cosmopolitan capital, with salaries coming in at 48,000 euro, offering a glamorous lifestyle with world-class cuisine and culture. The south of France, Nice, Marseille, and Monaco offer luxurious but costly lifestyle, but yet still equally exciting. Quickly over to Scandinavia. Stunning natural beauty, eco-conscious living, and vibrant summer festivals. Expect high salaries, progressive workplace, and an unbeatable work-life balance. You may need to be brave in the winters and may even learn to love pickled fish here, although great options to consider too. The recent opportunities that I have helped the firms with, they did also require a EU passport. Just keep that in mind. Then, moving over to Malta and Gibraltar for the sun chasers. For the more exotic European lifestyle and experience, I would highly recommend Malta. It's just off the coast of Italy, offering a welcoming change from the conventional city living. From prehistoric temples to cities built by knights, a truly spectacular backdrop wherever you go. And if you just think, they've got near year-round sun. So you can indulge in adventure and outdoor like at its best. Salaries, however, are slightly lower compared to other Western European destinations. It's just because of the cost of living that is lower too. Salaries are from 35,000 euro and up, depending for an audit senior, depending on your experience. And then also rent is starting at 800 euro, with more affordable furnished rooms at 299 euro in different parts of the city. Then Gibraltar. Now, although Gibraltar might feel more African, With its warm and sunny atmosphere, it is in fact a British territory just off the coast of Spain, joined by a 1 mile strip of land. The weather is beautiful for a suntan, a beach bath, like I said, for the sun chasers, and a whole lot of outdoor relaxation and fun. Some choose to even live on the cheaper coastline of Spain and commute in and out of Gibraltar every day. That is a great option for you too. However, there are some really good tax incentive if you remain living in Gibraltar. Typical roles we recruit for here again are audit, tax, or even fund accounting. And a person working as an external auditor in Gibraltar typically can earn around 38,000 pounds, which works out to about 45,000 euros. That is it from my side, guys. I'm sorry I fast forwarded there through Europe. I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have going forward. Thank you.
Thanks, Maxine. Very well done. Thank you. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Tyron Esthuizen, and I'm an international recruitment consultant based in Johannesburg, South Africa. I spent the last 2 years helping external auditors and advisory professionals navigate the exciting career opportunities available across the globe. My focus has been on connecting talented professionals with roles that offer not only career growth, but also the chance to experience new cultures and ways of life. Today, I'm going to cover Canada, the USA, Caribbean, and Bermuda. We couldn't deliver a worldwide presentation without covering North America. However, I should let you know that Canada and the USA are extremely hard to get into, but don't worry, I'll follow up with some good news at the end. First up, let's talk about Canada. Canada is a top destination to visit and live, with its breathtaking landscapes and consistently ranked as one of the most popular countries, and is easy to see why. However, it is also officially the most educated country in the world, with over 56% of adults holding some form of post-secondary education. This has resulted in there already being many qualified CAs and CPAs living and working in the country. As a result, it is very difficult to get a visa to move there, and companies do not need to sponsor to gain talent. The best route into Canada is to already have a Canadian PR. Excuse me. You can apply for this yourself as a qualified accountant. However, be aware it can take over a year and sometimes as much as 3. Once you have this in place, speak to us. We can assist you and secure a role for you. Next up, let's chat about the US. Unfortunately, the news here is not any better. Getting into the US, it is not as straightforward. The visa process is, especially the popular H-1B visa, operates on a lottery system, which means even if you are highly qualified, there's no guarantee you'll be selected. This makes direct immigration quite competitive and uncertain, putting employers off of going down the route of hiring international talent. If your heart is set on the US, then joining a US company with an office where you are might be your best plan. Once you have worked for them for 18 months plus, they may be able to apply for an L1B internal transfer visa for you, although there will be competition for these amongst your colleagues. Something to think about though, American work culture is known for long hours and no work-life balance. It is commonly expected for you to work 16-hour days, 6 days a week. How about some good news though? A smart approach would be to consider working in the Caribbean or Bermuda. These locations are home to many international financial services and audit firms that serve US clients. You get the chance to work in beautiful, tax-friendly jurisdictions and travel to the US for client meetings, training, or secondments, without the headache of US immigration up front. Moving on, let's talk about the Caribbean. The Caribbean's laid-back, relaxed pace of life is a refreshing change from the many high-stress, high-intensity work environments. Here, professionals find work-life balance that's truly meaningful, with time to enjoy natural beauty, outdoor activities, and rich culture. The work culture generally emphasizes manageable hours and a collaborative environment, allowing more personal time compared to other corporate hubs. Did you know that the Caribbean encompasses more than 700 islands, reefs, and cays? Each Caribbean island has its own distinct personality, culture, and lifestyle across the islands. You are surrounded by turquoise waters, endless white sand beaches, and lush landscapes. Each island offers a unique experience from coral reefs to rainforests, ensuring there's always something new to discover. Most Caribbean islands have compact cities and business districts, resulting in short, easy commutes, often under 20 minutes. Many offices are located near residential areas or off the coast, so the daily commute often involves scenic views of the ocean or lush landscapes. Many Caribbean islands are within 2 to 4 hour flights from major US cities like Miami, New York, or Atlanta. The Caribbean is home to people from all over the world, including the US, UK, Canada, Latin America, and various European and Caribbean nations. This multicultural environment is enriching both professionally and personally. When accountants are considering a move to the Caribbean, they usually think of the Cayman Islands. Located in the Western Caribbean Sea, the Cayman Islands are renowned for their vibrant finance sector, tropical climate, and stunning landscapes. Made up of 3 islands, Grand Cayman, Cayman Brac, and Little Cayman. Grand Cayman is the largest and serves as the hub of the economic activity. As a British overseas territory, the Cayman Islands offer a unique blend of British and American influences, creating a familiar cultural environment for expats, and additionally, there is no personal income tax, allowing you to maximize your earnings while enjoying a high quality of life in one of the world's most desired locations, only 45 minutes flight away from Miami. Salaries are competitive, with audit seniors typically earning between 70 and 80,000 USD per annum, and audit managers expecting between 90 to 110,000 USD per annum with zero tax. The Cayman Islands are one of the world's leading offshore financial centers, known particularly for fund management, banking, insurance, and reinsurance. Georgetown hosts numerous international firms, providing exposure to large-scale, complex financial portfolios. You will gain valuable experience working with high-profile international clients and financial entities, often working with IFRS and US GAAP frameworks. The Cayman Islands are celebrated for their breathtaking coral reefs, vibrant marine life, and crystal clear waters, making them a premier destination for scuba diving, snorkeling. And beyond underwater attractions, the island offers a great outdoor adventure with activities such as sailing, kayaking, paddleboarding, making it a perfect fit for those who enjoy an outdoorsy, active lifestyle. We are adding a highlight today on the stunning Turks and Caicos Islands, a destination that offers both professional potential and island paradise. Turks and Caicos is a British overseas territory offering a stable and secure environment for expats. Located in the North Atlantic Ocean, it's just a 90-minute flight from Miami, making it easily accessible to and from the US. Beyond its natural beauty, Turks and Caicos is a growing hub of offshore financial services. The economy is driven by tourism, fishing, financial services, creating promising opportunities in accounting and finance, especially for qualified professionals seeking international experience in a relaxed and high-end setting. This place is postcard perfect. The island boasts 230 miles of pristine white sand beaches and is surrounded by crystal clear turquoise waters. It's no surprise the islands are recognized for having some of the best tropical beaches in the world. Turks and Caicos is known for its laid-back yet luxurious lifestyle. With a small friendly population and welcoming culture, it offers a peaceful and stress-free environment, perfect for both work and wellness. The islands are home to the third largest coral reef system in the world, making them a top destination for diving, snorkeling, and eco-tourism. It's the kind of place where your weekends can be spent swimming with marine life or soaking up in sunset views of the ocean. We are working in partnership with Grant Thornton on the island and believe they offer an almost unique opportunity to gain a growing firm that offers a fast-track career path all the way to partner. They work closely with their client base with a focus on risk-based, skeptical approach whilst adding value. We frequently see a range of exciting career opportunities across the Caribbean, including in destinations such as the British Virgin Islands, Jamaica, Barbados, the Bahamas, and St. Lucia. These opportunities are predominantly within external and internal audit, IT audit, risk management, cybersecurity, insolvency, fraud, and forensic accounting, as well as tax. The cost of living varies across these islands, with each location offering a different balance of expenses, lifestyle amenities, and housing options. This variety allows you to choose an island that best matches your financial and lifestyle preferences, whether you prioritize proximity to nature, the bustling city life, or a mix of both. And here we have a testimonial from Bruno, who moved from Brazil to Barbados. He particularly enjoyed the blend of cultures, the lifestyle, and great weather. Next, let's take a look at Bermuda. Bermuda is not part of the Caribbean islands. Bermuda is an island in the north of the Atlantic, north of Bahamas and Caribbean, level with New York. It is actually around just 2 hours flight from New York, Boston, or Toronto. Though geographically closer to the US, Bermuda offers a unique blend of American and British influences that creates a distinctive charm. As a British overseas territory, the island combines the classic elegance of British heritage and with the vibrant, laid-back energy of American culture. The charming streets of Hamilton, for example, feature British-style architecture, while the island's modern conveniences and cosmopolitan atmosphere echo a more American lifestyle. With a population of around 64,000, Bermuda is compact yet lively, spanning just 53.2 square kilometers. Bermuda is globally recognized as a leading offshore financial center, and lots of roles in Bermuda require experience in insurance, reinsurance, asset management. It has one of the most sophisticated and regulatory environments in the world, focusing on transparency and compliance. This reputation makes it highly appealing for professionals with expertise in finance and is referred to as the world's risk capital. Bermuda offers a fantastic work-life balance with its stunning pink beaches, turquoise waters, and vibrant coral reefs. It's a paradise for divers, underwater enthusiasts, boasting shipwrecks, mysterious caves, and an incredible variety of marine life. But Bermuda's allure extends beyond the natural beauty. It also has activities for sports lovers, whether you're watching or participating in team sports like football, cricket, golf, rugby, netball, or volleyball. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Getting around Bermuda is easy. They have a fantastic public transport system across the island. However, don't be surprised when you see a partner or director traveling on a moped, which is their local choice of transport. Many firms in Bermuda prefer candidates with experience in either the UK or US markets due to similarities in regulatory environments and financial standards. External auditors with experience in IFRS, UK GAAP, PCAOB, or US GAAP are highly sought after. Bermuda has no personal income tax, although there is a small payroll tax of around 6% shared between employers and employees. It is important to be aware, though, that the cost of living in Bermuda is high, although salaries are adjusted to reflect this, with compensation packages designed to offset the island's higher expenses. Salaries for an audit senior is typically between 80 to 85,000 USD per annum, and for an audit manager, you can expect a range of between 110 to 120,000 USD per annum. Despite the higher cost of living, the tax-free advantage and competitive salaries make Bermuda an attractive destination for professionals looking for both high earning potential and exceptional lifestyle. Now let's take a look at Amy's testimonial. We assisted Amy moving from Dublin to Bermuda. She's absolutely loving it from her short commutes and great weather. I hope you found the information useful, and I look forward to answering any questions you may have.
Hey, back to me. Thank you very much, Tyrone. That was really well covered. I get to cover the locations that I've really loved and enjoyed living in. So I'm going to start off with Australia. And there is Sydney, where I used to live, very near that bridge with a view of it. So, yeah, without further ado, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Australia before we move into the Q&A section. Oh, sorry, New Zealand as well. How can I forget? There are many opportunities. We've seen more this year than we have in recent years in Australia coming through. However, I should add a caveat that it's still tricky to get into Australia because so many people want to move there. The competition's high. And a bit like we were talking about in Canada, there's a lot of people there that take the professional qualifications and are already ready to step up and do the job. But there are opportunities, and in particular, they see a synergy with people with experience in UK, Ireland, South Africa, Canada, USA, the countries that have a similar economic market and regulatory environment. Don't let that put you off, though. Any of these locations, if we've highlighted that something's not you, we may still be able to assist, if not now, later in the year. So Sydney, Melbourne, and Perth, these are usually the three that people come to us and say, this is where I want to move to. Sydney and Melbourne have more of the financial services sector. You don't see it so much in the other cities. They also, though, cover most other sectors. Perth is our energy, oil, gas, mining, etc. That's where majority of it's based, although you see some in Brisbane and some up in the Northern Territories as well. Salaries really vary across all the different cities. And I'm going to give you a very sweeping, big block because it depends which city you're looking at. But take it that the salaries are going to be higher in Sydney and Melbourne because the cost of living is, and they're going to be lower in the other cities. So for an audit senior, for example, you could range from anything from 75 to 90,000 Australian dollars a year on your salary, and a manager would start at 90, going up to 100, 110s, experienced managers up from there. What we do urge you, though, to do is think about these other cities within Australia, because there's less competition for getting into the other cities because everyone's always thinking about Sydney and Melbourne. And now we've got all these other beautiful places you can go to. Brisbane is hosting the Olympics in 2032. That might sound a long way in the future. However, they're already working on the infrastructure of Brisbane. It's a really up and coming and fastest growing city in Australia, and a very exciting place to be as that's all happening. Beautifully based across lots of rivers, lots of plenty of water, lovely river walks, and nice modern environment to live in. Adelaide, I was there in January. I absolutely fell in love with Adelaide and the region. I spent a couple of weeks in Adelaide and then going out into the hills around it. I personally like the hills around them, not just for their beauty, because they are gorgeous. I went around on a cycle as well as lots of hiking. However, then every time while you're on a bike or you're hiking, you come across a winery every now and again. So we know this territory very well. They have Adelaide Hills. They have three different very famous wine districts around Adelaide. Adelaide itself as a city is friendly. It's a stress-free city, I'd say. You don't feel as much stress as you do in some of the overpopulated cities. But there's still a lot going on. A nice bar and culture scene, beautiful parks, beautiful big markets, etc. And then we have Darwin. Darwin is up in the Northern Territories, a very small city. I'd say like a large town to me in the UK. Very friendly. And all year round, it's nice and hot. If you like the heat, this is a great place to be. I was speaking to somebody yesterday from Cape Town who said it's really on synergy with that type of weather. And Durban, sorry, Durban in particular, they said. It's also a very close flight to Asia, or flights. You can get to Asia very easily from there. So it's a nice hub. You could have a long weekend in Bali with a very short flight and a cheap, very affordable one. So, but don't discount, even we've got lots of other cities in Australia as well that we're working with these days. So think about different locations. We're happy to talk you through them. And depending where the opportunities are, do your research, because they all offer that lovely Australian culture, outdoor lifestyle, friendly Australian people, and bear them in mind. Wollongong is just like an hour and 20 minutes to Sydney. Newcastle is 2 hours, so they're all very close to each other. And then if you're looking at Hobart, that's the capital of Tasmania, the island you see at the bottom of Australia. And Tasmania in itself is absolutely beautiful. Hobart's well known for the Sydney to Hobart yacht race that you may have heard of every year, which is very famous. Across Australia, typically roles will include audit, internal audit, risk, tax, we've seen a lot more corporate finance recently, transaction services, valuations type roles. And so there is opportunity there across the board. Here is an excerpt from Heather, who we assisted to move to Hobart at a senior level, and she made it all the way through to partner very rapidly. Another great thing is in the smaller cities, you will see far rapid career progression. This is a Big Four firm. Later in her career, she decided to move to one of the bigger cities, and she could do that at partner level that she'd reached. And then, of course, her heart was in Hobart, so I believe she's hopping back there now as well. So, yeah, really good opportunities there. I'm now going to take you into New Zealand. New Zealand's an amazing, beautiful place famous for its people, its landscape, its scenery. What we're looking at here is Auckland, the Viaduct area, which is very similar to Sydney Harbour, in a smaller scale, I would say. In New Zealand, people tend to have more of a work-life balance. The cost of living is lower than you'll see in a lot of the bigger Australian cities. And the salaries are slightly lower, they're not proportionately lower. So you can really enjoy your time there. Typically, we see opportunities coming up in Auckland, Wellington, Christchurch, but also in some of the more rural towns. We can see them coming up in there as well. Like Dunedin as well, really nice city to go to. Salaries start for a senior from say 70,000 New Zealand dollars. New Zealand dollars just a bit lower than Aussie dollar. Now, one bedroom flat is about $280 a week. Sydney, a one bedroom flat is about $680 a week. So you can see the difference. It's about 50% of what you might have paid in Sydney, but the salary is only about 10% lower. In New Zealand, you get good affordable transport. You've got, and it's safe transport as well, easy to get around. You can do that in any of the Australian, New Zealand cities very easily. Transport systems are good. So you don't need to live in the city centres. When you see those high city centre prices in Sydney and Melbourne, think about commuting in. Typical roles in New Zealand: audit, internal audit, risk, financial accounting, sometimes financial advisory, and a few other opportunities have come our way. And here is our last testimony from somebody we helped move, Gina. She moved to Auckland. She's another example of someone that experienced very rapid career progression, and she became the chair of her Big Four firm's New Zealand Diversity and Inclusive Council, and travelled the globe representing diversity for the firm, within the firm internally, which is very exciting for her to have done that. And we're very happy that we assisted somebody to join a firm that made such a difference to diversity. There's one little place we've tagged on here is Papua New Guinea, because no one knows what it is or where it is usually. It's very near Australia. In fact, here's a map showing you where it is. It's up the top. That's Darwin up the top, and you just can fly over to Port Moresby in Papua New Guinea. And it's a location where you can actually gain some experience that's Australian, because they have a mix of clients across the two boards. And sometimes you're part of a firm that's part of the Australian network, so you can get career progression there. If you're thinking about somewhere different, something that's a bit diverse and out there, then we can talk to you a bit more about Papua New Guinea. Yeah, it's a location that has a lot of interesting things going for it. Okay, so we have allowed 10 minutes for Q&As for you. So I can see there's already some that have come up into the Q&A section. And what I'm going to do is I'll pose them to Maxine, Tyrone, or myself. Let's just start with this one. Maxine, somebody here has got 5 years post-qualification experience. However, they moved out of audit into industry. How difficult is it going to be for them to secure this international move?
It's going to depend how long you've been out into industry. So typically, we believe in the window of 2 years. So if you went into industry, want to come back, there's a great 2 year window. It will also depend on also your portfolio that you looked after and which industry you then joined after, and then where you want to go. But reach out to us. I'm happy to have a look at your profile and then be able to consult from there.
And I might add, if you're thinking of staying out in industry, it is a little bit harder. If you think about it, the industry organizations can usually staff up from the local accounting practices and people making that move, or people locally that are already working in the accounting industry. They need less accountants. So there's less call. It's all about supply and demand. If someone's going to hire someone internationally, it comes with costs and a bit of risk, and therefore they're only going to do it if they really, have a shortage of the people or a certain type of talent. So yes, okay. The And I think that answers as well. Somebody's asked us about what are the chances of obtaining a non-audit role when you only have audit experience. Okay, and they're particularly interested in the Cayman and Bermuda. I'll take that one on. It depends. If you've got strong financial services experience in for Bermuda insurance or other financial services for the Cayman Islands, mostly investment funds, then it might be possible for you to move into a fund company. But again, just bear in mind, it just depends whether there's people on the island already that are making that move. I will say something about audit as well, because a lot of people get to a certain stage where you qualify, you've been auditing for 3 years, you feel like you want to try something different. A couple of things to think about. One is it's actually at the next level a bit more interesting. You're moving to a new country, you're learning ways of doing it there, you're moving up a level, you're getting more responsibility, you're doing the role that your manager does. It's different, and it's not the same as the original ticking and bashing, which is evolving also, because now more and more things are being automated. We're looking at people with more risk-based approach, people who are more consultative, can identify ways to enhance and add value in the audit process. The other thing is, when you move location, you're actually doing three of the most stressful things they say you can do in the world. One is to get married, the other two is to move house and change jobs. So you're changing jobs and moving house all at once. Why not do it with the devil you know? You understand how to audit, go to a new country if this is your background, and do the auditing for 18 months, make your network of contacts, and then you're the one that can move out into the industry areas. You've made that network and you've done it locally and you've become enticing to people, but also you've given yourself a bit of an easier life instead of the whole stress of, God, I've now changed jobs totally. And in industry, remember, there's less people above you to help you. There's less people understanding around you. There's less training budget. You have all of these things. And we see people running back to audit often because they miss that. They really do. And the variety of clients that they get to work with. So yeah, it's just something to think about. But talk to us in any of these scenarios, and we can let you know what we can do. Okay, all right. So Tyrone, if you're planning to move as a couple, do we help couples with opportunities?
Yes, thank you. So we definitely will put into consideration your partner, spouse as well. And by all means, we try our best to try and help you and guide you through that process, or trying to give you advice on how your partner could potentially secure opportunities in the locations. But I must also just say that certain locations, it's easier to obtain a spousal visa, whereas other locations, it's not as easy as to obtain a spousal visa. So reach out, speak to us. We'll be able to guide you on which locations might be better suited for a family sort of lifestyle. But yes, by all means, we will try and assist your partner in securing opportunities as well, or at least just offer you some guidance on where to look and so on.
Excellent, thank you. I'm very excited. We got someone here today. I won't name them or anything, but just to say, somebody here that we helped move in 2006.
Really cool.
And they've let us know that they since then have managed to work in the UK, Ireland, South Africa, and Middle East. We're delighted to hear from you again. Once you're part of the Global Recruitment Alumni, we will always help you. And I know you've said you've already reached out to Maxine. She's looking forward to talking to you. But yeah, once you're in our alumni, we will always look after you as the best way we possibly can. Yes, okay. So Maxine, next question was, is it possible to get an audit senior role by September, October for somebody with 10
Yes.
years plus experience?
Yes, definitely it is. So yes, please reach out if you want to make a move this quick. We can help you make a move this quick.
Okay, excellent. All right. And I got another one for you actually. What's the salary expectation for an internal audit assistant manager in London?
So again, depending on the size firm that you will be joining, but you can look at a salary from 52 to 54, maybe 56 if it is like one of the larger Big Four firms, £1,000.
Brilliant. All righty. I'll take the next half of this question. When preparing for interviews, are you expecting to have an in-depth knowledge of regulatory landscape for where you're applying for? Okay, so any company that is hiring internationally will be aware that you probably haven't got that local experience if they've taken you on that basis for the interview. There are some companies right now asking for the local experience, but there are also lots of companies that are quite happy to take you internationally without it. My suggestion is, though, there's no harm in you putting something into chat, get a bit of an overview, have a look at it, see what the differences are to what knowledge you've got, and then at least you can talk about that interview and say, well, I haven't used that, however, I have looked at it, and it will show that you've done your research and you're taking this seriously. Okay. Tyrone, somebody's asked us if we have any charges for our service when we're assisting them.
No, we do not charge you anything. All that we ask for is your commitment.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And that's so true. As we said, we can only work with 10 people at one time. So we don't want to let down those that really are serious. So long as you're committed and you want to make this move, and you're open and honest with us, then we're happy to work with you. Absolutely. Looking forward to doing it. Okay. All righty. So where are we got to next? There's a new question in. Okay, they're a bit, that one's a bit tailored. I've got a few here also. Let me just bring them up. Okay. Yeah, I think you touched on it, Maxine, but someone has brought this up as a question, so let's cover it again. The possibility of working in Luxembourg and living in Germany.
Very, very possible. So it's only a short commute. You'll find actually one guy that I spoke to that I placed there, he said actually his one partner is based in Germany and travels every day, and one is based in France and travels every day. So it's a very good possibility. Easy to do, apparently.
Excellent. Okay.
I can't fathom like, hey, moving like one country to another so quick, but it's Europe, anything's possible.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. All righty. Okay. Tyrone, how do you reasonably estimate the cost of living to a new country and what would be a good starting point?
So a good starting point, I would say, is reach out to your network. I'm pretty sure you may have someone in your network that has made that move. That would obviously be a good starting point. So look within your network, and then reach out to us as well if there are certain locations. We have got certain tools and information that we can share with you to assist you with your research as well. But obviously, Google is your best friend. There's a world of information on Google about various locations. There are calculators out there designed to assist you in comparing costs in your current location versus the new location or location that you are considering. If you don't have access to that tool, feel free to reach out. We'll be able to help you with that. But I think the best part would be to find someone in your network that is in that location to get possibly an unbiased opinion as well. So not just coming from us. That's probably what we always ask you to do, is to go and reach out to your network and speak to people who have made that move in the location which you are considering.
Excellent, good. A couple of people have said that they've registered with us and they haven't really had a lot of opportunities come their way yet. 2025 has started slower than we've seen any other year, and there's a lot going on across the globe at the moment, and it's affecting hiring and it's affecting the desire to sponsor. So we are working our best to push forward with that. A number of companies have indicated to us that things might kick up after Easter. So this weekend, we might start to see a bit more happening. I think it could even be as late as June, July this year that we'll be getting the big peak flow of opportunities that sometimes come through annually. Whereas normally they would have already started as soon as busy season finished. Which would be the April, May time. It's going a bit slower. As far as our process goes, if you send in to register with us, you should hear back within 14 days, hopefully within 7. And then if we actually to go for a full interview with you, we should be staying in contact with you regularly within every couple of weeks. You should getting an update. Until we, decide that we need to put your application on hold, but we'll keep looking out for stuff for you until you tell us to stop doing it. If you haven't heard, please come back to me if you're not hearing from people, and I will investigate. At the moment, I think we're getting back to people within a couple of weeks, so you should be hearing from us. But do feel free to reach out to me personally or to mail at thinkgr.com and just say I haven't heard, and that will be flagged up, and we'll make sure you do get a response, because we do like to respond to people. We don't like to leave you in a communication blackout. Okay. And I think we're coming to the end of our time. Somebody asked if they can get the recording. All our recordings now go onto our YouTube channel. So we will make sure you get a copy of a link to that. It takes about a week afterwards to go up there, at the most up to a week, but they will be there. And you can see historic presentations there as well, where we've gone through all the skills of international hiring, whether it's preparing for a CV, preparing for interviews, to location specific questions and homing in different locations. Next month, we've got another worldwide presentation. It's a little bit more detailed, and you can come back and ask more Q&As if you want, and it's in the evening if you were late coming in today. And then we will be letting you know about all the future ones after that coming up. So yeah, it's been lovely to have everyone today. Thank you for coming along, and we'll look forward to meeting you and talking to you again or further in the future. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.